everyone, I'm Laura. I'm going to show you how to crochet this butterfly. So it's based on a butterfly called Blue Morpho. If you've never crocheted before, take a look at my video about how to crochet in rounds. If you'd like the written version of this pattern, it's on my website. I'll leave a link in the description. So you're going to need a 3mm crochet hook, a stitch marker, a yarn needle, scissors, some embroidery thread in white and also in black, and you'll need some florist wire. So the thickness is 18 gauge and it's 36 centimeters long, and you'll need some florist tape. So this is crepe paper with wax on it, and you're going to need some double knit yarn in turquoise and black, and also in light green to wrap around the stem at the end. So we're going to start with the top wing in turquoise. So we're going to make a magic ring. We'll just take that short tail out and put it by the side. And we're going to do 6 single crochet in the magic ring, so underneath both of those strands. So you can count your stitches, so count the V's and pull tight to close the magic ring. And then we're going to put the stitch marker in this stitch to mark the start of a new round. So round 2, we're going to do a single crochet in every stitch, so we're just maintaining 6 stitches. So we put our marker back in that last stitch we did. Round 3, we're going to single crochet in the next stitch, and then we're going to increase in the next stitch, and we're going to do that 3 times. So we always repeat the instructions in brackets a number of times stated, and at the end of the round we'll have 9 stitches. So an increase is 2 single crochet in 1 stitch. And then put the marker back in the last stitch we did, as we do at the end of every round. Round 4, we're going to single crochet in every stitch, so I'm just going to speed this up to show you, but you can pause the video and meet me back when you've done that. Round 5, we're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then we're going to increase in the next stitch, and we'll do that 3 times, and we'll have 12 stitches at the end of the round. So both of the top wings and both of the bottom wings will be the same pattern. We'll just flip them so that they're a mirror image. And we're working in rounds, but we're going to flatten the pieces so that they're like double thickness but flat. So marker goes back in. Round 6, we're going to single crochet in the next 5 stitches, and we're going to increase in the next stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in the next 6 stitches. So we'll have 13 stitches at the end of the round. So we're just increasing by 1, and we're going to be putting our increase stitches on the side, so that when we flatten the pieces, we're going to flatten it so that the increases and the decreases are all on the edge. Round 7, we're going to single crochet in the next 6 stitches, then we're going to increase in the next stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in the next 6 stitches. So we'll have 14. So again, we'll just increase by 1, and the increases are on the same side. So you can see where the increase on the previous round is here. So the next increase will be in the second stitch of that increase. So we're just stacking them on top of each other and shifting it to the left a bit. So I've left the instructions on the screen for rounds 8 and 9. So they're basically similar to what you've just done, except we're just shifting the number of stitches 1 stitch further. So you can pause the video and meet me back when you've done those. So you can count your rounds like this. Round 10, we're going to increase in the next stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in the next 7 stitches, and then we're going to do an invisible decrease, and then we're going to single crochet in the next 6 stitches, and we'll have 16 stitches at the end of this round. So I'll show you how to do the invisible decrease in a minute. So to do an invisible decrease, we're going to use the front loops only. So on the V, we've got 2 loops, and the front loop is the one that's closest to us. So we pick up the front loop of that next stitch, and then we pick up the front loop of the stitch next to that. So we've got 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through those first 2 loops. You can go through one first and then the other if it makes it easier, and then yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. So that's the invisible decrease, and you can see we've got this diagonal piece here, so we don't want to go into that because that's the side of the invisible decrease. So the next stitch is underneath the V. So now we just single crochet in the next 6 stitches. So I've left the instructions on the screen for round 11. So we're just going to repeat the round that we've just done, so round 10. So you can meet me back when you've done that. Round 12, we're going to increase in the next stitch. Then we're going to single crochet in the next 6 stitches. And then we're going to do an invisible decrease twice. And then we're going to single crochet in the next 5 stitches. So we'll have 15 stitches at the end of the round because we've decreased by 2. So we do our first invisible decrease. And then again, we ignore that diagonal one and go into the next front loop of the next stitch and do our second invisible decrease. And then we single crochet in the next 5 stitches. So round 13, we're going to increase in the next stitch, then we're going to single crochet in the next 5 stitches, and we're going to do an invisible decrease twice, and then we're going to single crochet in the next 5 stitches. So we'll have 14 stitches at the end of this round. So as always, you can pause the video and meet me back when you've done this, but I'm just going to show you this round. So you can flatten it out, make sure the invisible decreases are on the side edge. Round 14, we're going to single crochet in the next 6 stitches, then we're going to invisible decrease twice, and then we're going to single crochet in the next 4 stitches, and we'll have 12 stitches at the end of this round. Round 15, we're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches, then we're going to do an invisible decrease, and we're going to do that 3 times, and at the end of the round we'll have 9 stitches. Round 16, we're going to single crochet in the next stitch, and we're going to invisible decrease, and we'll do that 3 times, and we'll have 6 stitches at the end of the round. So this is the last round. So we've got 2 stitches remaining, so we take out the marker and do our last invisible decrease. So now we're going to leave a long tail for sewing, so about this long, and cut the yarn. And then we're going to fasten off. So wrap the yarn around the hook and pull it all the way through the loop. And then just trim that tail from the magic ring. And you can use the end of your scissors to just push that inside. So now we need to make another wing following the same pattern. So I've left the instructions on the screen. You can pause the video and meet me back when you've made your second wing. So now we're going to make the bottom wing. So round 1 we start by making a magic ring, and we do 6 single crochet in the magic ring. So I've sped this bit up just to show you, but you can pause the video anytime you need to. Round 2, we're going to increase in every stitch, so we'll have 12 stitches at the end of the round. So I'll just speed this bit up just to show you. Round 3, we're going to increase in every stitch again, so we'll have 24 stitches at the end of the round. So you can pause the video and meet me back when you've done that. Round 4, we're going to single crochet in every stitch, so just maintaining 24 stitches. So you can pause the video and meet me back when you've done that. So just doing my last stitch of round 4. And you can count your rounds like that. Round 5, we're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches, then we're going to do an invisible decrease, and we're going to do that 6 times, and we'll have 18 stitches at the end of the round. So I've left the instructions on the screen for rounds 6 to 7. So we're just going to single crochet in every stitch for 2 rounds, maintaining 18 stitches. So you can pause the video and meet me back when you've done those. So you can count your rounds. Round 8, we're going to do an invisible decrease, and then we're going to single crochet in the next 7 stitches, and we're going to do that twice, and at the end of the round we'll have 16 stitches. So when we flatten it, the invisible decreases will be on each edge. So you can see your invisible decreases because they look a little bit different than a single crochet. And then you can count your 7 single crochet, make sure you've done the right amount. So now we're going to flatten it. So we want these invisible decreases to be at the side edges. So I've left the instructions on the screen for rounds 9 and 10. You can pause the video and meet me back when you've done them. Round 11, we're going to do an invisible decrease 6 times. So this is the last round. So I'll just speed this up just to show you. And then we're going to leave a tail for sewing, cut the yarn and fasten off. So I've left the instructions on the screen for what we've just done. So we need to make the second bottom wing following the same pattern. So you can pause the video and meet me back when you've done that. Okay, so I've made all of my pieces now, and you can see that they are the same, but when you flip them over this way, we've got a nice mirror image. So we've got our left top wing, right top wing. So now we're going to make the bottom. So you would be making this in black, but I'm going to be making it in light grey because black doesn't show up well on the camera. So round 1, we make a magic ring and we do 6 single crochet in the magic ring. I just speed this up to show you, but you can pause the video anytime you need to. So put the marker in, and rounds 2 to 9, that's 8 rounds, we're going to single crochet in every stitch. So just maintaining 6 stitches so that we've got a thin tube. So I'll just show you another round. So we put our marker in and do our 6 single crochet. And you count your rounds like that. Okay, so I've done all of my rounds, and I'm going to trim that tail from the magic ring, and I'm going to leave a tail about that long, and I'm going to fasten off, and then we need to close the hole. So I'm going to thread that needle, I'm going to thread the tail onto the needle. I'm going to come up through the front loops only of each of those 6 stitches. So come up from the outside each time like this, and pull tight to draw all the stitches together, and then we're going to find a loop nearby and go through it but not all the way, leave a loop, and then go through the loop from behind and pull tight to make a knot, and then go through the middle of that hole again, weave it through, cut the yarn close to the edge of the work, and then use the end of your needle to hide that end. So I've made mine in black, and this is how the pieces are going to go. So now we're going to make the edging on the top of the left wing. So holding it this way around, we're going to push our hook through both of those layers, so both stitches on opposite sides. So next to where we fastened off, I'm going to pull up a loop of black, and we're going to chain 1. I'm going to make a single crochet in the same space, so through both layers. And now we're going to work in the spaces between the rounds. So we're going to make 13 single crochet along this edge. So just push the hook in and just pick up loops on this side edge. So I'll just do the 13 single crochet, and I'll speed this bit up. So you can count and make sure you got 13 single crochet. I know that black is a bit difficult to see and count your stitches. So now we're going to make 2 half double crochet in the next space. So we wrap the yarn around the hook and push the hook into the next space, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. So there's the first half double crochet, and then we do the second one in the same space. Now we're going to make 2 double crochet in each of the next 2 spaces. So the next one goes through that magic ring. So we come out in the middle of the magic ring. So we yarn over, push the hook through the middle of that magic ring, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. So that's double crochet. Now we need to do another one in that same space. And now we need to do that again in the next space, so 2 more double crochet. Now we're going to do a half double crochet in the next 7 spaces. So I'll just speed this bit up to show you. And then we're going to do a slip stitch in the next space. So just on that corner edge there. So we push the hook through the stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then pull that through the loop on the hook, and that's a slip stitch. So we're going to cut the yarn, leaving a tail for weaving in, and then fasten off. So now we need to do the right top wing. So we're going to lay it out the right way up, and then we're going to start in this corner here. So we push the hook in, and we pull up a loop of black, and we chain one, and then we do a slip stitch in the same space. So we're doing the reverse of what we've just done because we need the stitches to be on the right side facing us on all the pieces. Now we're going to do a half double crochet in the next 7 spaces. Then we're going to make 2 double crochet in each of the next 2 spaces. So the next one is just next to that magic ring. So there's 2, and the next one comes out of the middle of the magic ring. Then we're going to make 2 half double crochet in the next space. And then we're going to single crochet in the next 15 spaces. So I've sped all of this up just to show you, but you can pause the video and meet me back when you've done it. So now we're going to leave a tail for weaving in and fasten off. Now we're going to do the edging on the left bottom wing. So we're going to lay out all the pieces the way that they're going to go. And we're going to use that as a guide. So where the edging ended on the left piece is where we're going to pull up our loop. So we want it in line with that. So we chain one and we slip stitch in the same space. Then we're going to do a half double crochet in the next 3 spaces. And we're going to do 2 half double crochet going through the magic ring. So we're going to come out at the back of it this time. Then we're going to do a half double crochet in the next 5 spaces. So it can be a bit fiddly to push it through. You can see that I had to undo mine a couple of times. Then we're going to slip stitch in the next 7 spaces. So you can just check this is how we want it to be, and then fasten off, leaving a tail. Now we're going to do the right bottom wing. So this is the way the edging is going to go on this piece. So we're going to turn it around and we're going to go through both layers of the stitches next to where we fastened off. And we're going to pull up a loop of black. Chain one and slip stitch in the same space. Then we're going to slip stitch in the next 7 spaces. And then we're going to half double crochet in the next 3 spaces. and do 2 half double crochet in the magic ring. So going through the middle and coming out at the back. Then we're going to half double crochet in the next 3 spaces, and then we're going to slip stitch in the next space. So then we can lay out all of our pieces, check, make sure that it's in line with where the top edge ends, and then cut the yarn and fasten off. Now we need to weave all of these black tails in, so we just go through the inside of each piece and the short tail from the start as well, and then we cut the yarn close to the edge of the work and use the end of our needle to push those pieces in. So we do this for every piece. So you can pause the video and meet me back when you've done that. Now we're going to sew it to the body. So we're going to lay all the pieces out, and we're going to pick up a black loop from the middle of the body, and then we're going to go through both layers of that last round, so under both stitches, and then pick up another black loop, and then through the middle again. And then we're going to weave through to that edge that doesn't have any black edging on it. And then we're going to take our needle out of that strand and put it onto the bottom wing. We're going to sew that underneath, so go through a black loop and then go through both layers on the bottom piece and back through the body. And again, and once more, and then we're going to put our needle back in that first tail we were working with, and we're going to sew these blue edges together just for a few stitches. And then we're going to fasten off by finding a loop. Don't go through all the way, go through a loop from behind and pull tight to make a knot, and then weave that end through the middle of through the inside, and do the same with the other tail and weave it through, and then cut those ends close to the work and use your needle to hide those. So now we're going to repeat the same with the other side. So we just line them up, make sure that they are symmetrical. And then we leave that one for now and then sew on the bottom wing. And sew those edges together for a few stitches. And then fasten off and weave in your ends. So now we're going to cut a length of white embroidery thread about this long, and we're going to do the white edging. So we're just going to start with the left top wing. I'm going to tie a double knot close to the end. So 2 knots on top of each other. And thread onto our needle. And we're going to start at the bottom. And we're going to weave through, so just the knot just gets stopped on that side. And we're going to go underneath the V shapes, and we're going to do a running stitch all up this side. So just in and out, doing dashes. And we're going to go up to where the double crochet stitches are. And then we're going to find a loop nearby. I'm going to fasten off in the same way as we did before. And then we're going to weave that in and cut the yarn. And then you can use the end of your scissors to push that end inside. So then we'll do it again for the bottom wing. So a running stitch, and we're not going to go all the way around on this, we're just going to go close to the body. So we're going to stop about there, and then you can repeat that for the other wings. Now we're going to make the antenna, and we're going to cut a length of black embroidery thread that's 10 centimeters long. And we're going to push our hook through the middle of the magic ring and fold it in half so the ends meet. Pull that loop through, wrap the ends around the hook and pull through. And you can trim these if you want, but I did find that with mine it made it a bit less straight, so I thought it might have been better not to trim them, but it's up to you. So now we're going to take our florist wire and we're going to measure 5 centimeters from the end and bend it at this point. We're going to look at the back of the butterfly and push through at the middle and come out about 2 rounds below, and then bend the wire to the long piece so it's touching. And then we're going to take our florist tape and we're going to wrap it around both of those pieces starting at the top and move it down at an angle so that we wrap it around the whole length of the stem. So this tape gets very sticky on both sides when you stretch it, and also from the heat of your hands. And we want it to be sticky because we're going to wrap yarn around it in a minute. So when you get to the bottom, cut the yarn leaving about 1.5 inches, and then take the green yarn and leave several inches from the end and begin wrapping it around the stem so that there's no gaps, and do this until the end. So when you get near the end, going to leave about 1 centimeter and cut the yarn, and then wrap that tape around as many times as it'll go to secure that, and then trim that excess yarn. And then we're going to thread that tail onto our needle, find a loop nearby and fasten off in the same way we did before, and weave through the body, and then cut the yarn and hide the end. So there we have it, our Blue Morpho butterfly is finished, and you can display these in a vase. That's what I did. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you'd like to share a photo with me of your butterfly, I'd love to see it. You can tag me on Instagram at Laura_Wilson01. I also have an Etsy shop where I design and sell crochet patterns, so I'll leave the link in the description if you'd like to check that out. If you like this video, please give me a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.